So we're here today at the Edge AI Foundation conference with Samir Bounab, founder of the Fractional. We've been doing a bit of talking off camera already around how things have been going, but Samir, I guess for the benefit of the audience, give a bit of an introduction about you and what you're doing at the moment in relation to this.
So I've been in the tech industry for the last 15 years, exercising as an engineer, CEO, entrepreneur. Lately, I sold my company, Witekio, which was a 200 people company, to Avnets. And then I left recently and started a new thing, which is called the Fractional, leveraging my experience selling tech to help tech companies and most specifically tech funders to generate more revenue, to make money out of what they have.
Great. There's been, I know, a big kind of rise in that fractional model. How fractional do you go? Do you go like hundreds or you have 3 or 4?
No, it's more a boutique, like 3-4 customers in parallel maximum, because I'm hands-on with them, working in the management team. And so it takes time and effort and focus. And I want to deliver a good service. So it's rather a boutique company as of today.
Great. And you're, I guess, involved with the foundation as well and what you're seeing here today. You know, how do you see that maybe fractional model as well coming a bit more to the GI industry?
The thing which is really valid in the tech industry and emerging technology like that, it's hard sometimes for tech funders to make the leap of having a real business development team and sales executive, etc., because they fear that it's not their world and they want to have a more flexible approach where they could still have like their core technical team and have some external help on the business. And so that's why the fractional model is really relevant, because it allows leaders to have the impact of a senior executive, but having the full flexibility, control on the costs to make sure that they don't have a kind of too much of a risk on their company while they are still figuring out their technology, their customer, their core market, etc.
Great. And I know we spoke a bit about some of the tech and the use case that we've seen here today. The question I've been asking everyone is, out of all of those possible things and looking to the future, what's the one challenge in the world or use case that you really would love to see solved by this kind of edge processing?
One thing that was really amazing for me was a conference we had this morning by a professor working on neuromorphic technologies. And she explained that the brain, with everything that it does in terms of image recognition, decision, everything that we do as humans, consume 20 watts. And I was really amazed by that number. And when you look at all these challenges of energy consumption and the impact on the greenhouse effect as well, etc., clearly AI will have that energy consumption issue. So I won't be talking about the use case of edge AI, but we will use a lot of AI, and that power consumption thing will be huge. But it's kind of, I feel optimistic when I see that the brain does 20 watts. That means that there is still a long way to go, but that we can make those technology way more efficient in the future.
Again, we had a bit of a conversation around the kind of career side of things and people kind of looking to get into this industry. Lots of people I spoke to said there's maybe a bit of a gap between people who traditionally are in the embedded development world and now trying to get more skills in machine learning and being able to bridge that gap. What would be a piece of advice you think for people that are maybe graduating, looking to get into this area, about how they really get up to speed with what this industry needs to go forwards?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's way simpler than it was before to acquire new skills, especially thanks to AI. There is a lot of training out there. There is a lot of material. AI is way more mature and well explained. You have a ton of training for data scientists, for machine learning, and even non-technical people can gain skill pretty fast. You have AI as the best assistant you can have to help you train yourself and improve your skills, learn new things. So if it's a question of hard skills, I think it's really easy nowadays for anyone that has a good background in science and technology to understand and learn in AI in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or maybe 1 day a week for a few months. I find it really simple right now and for free, which is impressive.
And on the soft skills side, obviously, these days with everyone almost having to be a bit of their own celebrity, their own influencer, have their own profile, what do you think is really important kind of soft skill for people to have, engineers, when they're coming out of university and into this world?
I don't think they need to build a brand, to be honest, at least to start. If the question is how can they find a job, I think it hasn't changed so much since 20 years or even more. It's a question of knowing people. Network still matters. Even when you're young, you think you have no network, but you do have a network. Because one thing which is hard is to find a job just applying to job offers. Yeah. That is tough, especially in the job market right now. We are not in 2022 anymore. And so usually people will do referral, even inside companies. A lot of companies are using referral program to make sure that they pre-filter candidates. And so if you know no one, you're not referred. So building a network, and I'm not sure that they need to have like a great brand online and be visible on LinkedIn, etc. Yeah. They have university network, they have colleagues, they have families, they have friends, and usually this is where you find your first job.
Yeah.